welcome in everyone to the Walk with Faith podcast with Boris Sanders. Hi, Boris.
Hello, everyone.
So, Boris, so I noticed you. So, what you told me and what I've posted too is you are helping yourself heal from the loss of your eyesight. Does that have to do with what is going on with your eye right now? What
Yes, it
happened?
is.
It is. Okay.
Um, I actually, put a long story short, I actually just went blind all of a sudden. I had double retina detachment. The doctors to this day still can't figure out why. I was a healthy individual at the time that it happened. Lost vision in both eyes at the same time, and the funny part about it is, which is not really funny, it happened right when COVID came in. Which means when I went to the doctor, they saw my vision. I was losing my vision. They said we need to operate. They scheduled me a surgery, emergency surgery in the next couple of days. And when I came back, they had shut down because of COVID, and they were doing no surgeries. So at that time that they stopped doing surgeries, over the next period of couple of months, I actually went totally blind.
Wow.
I lost vision in both eyes, and which was very off-putting for me because I had very good vision my entire life. I mean, I could see a fly past me, and I could see his legs fly when he flew past me. I said, smack flies out of the sky, out of the air. I mean, that is
No, I get what
what,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah. So yeah, I had very good vision, and then I just lost my vision. And when they did resume operating, they brought me in immediately, operating on me. And the next couple of years after that was a challenge, let's say, to say the least. It was a challenge. I have regained vision in my right eye, which you do see is uncovered. The left eye is still having challenges. Still trying to heal. I have very limited vision in that eye, but in a nutshell, that's about what happened.
Did
Still
you,
healing.
yeah, do you, so you said it was right around the time of COVID.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you think it has anything to do with that?
No, I don't think it so much was COVID. I believe it was. I was. I believe things happen for a reason,
Right.
and I believe things like this happen. My physical eyes closed and my spiritual eyes open.
There you
I
go.
started to I started to see things and understand things that I needed to see. Sat at a computer desk for months and years almost, um, just talking to God, crying and asking why is this happening to me. I got answers, needless to say, but a lot transpired in the time. I was dying in this body and being born again, I believe, which I'm still having a lot of death and rebirths, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when my spiritual eyes opened, I started to see life in a different way. I stopped doing a lot of things that I was doing, negative things, negative speech patterns, negative habits, negative friends, toxic friends, negative environments,
Right.
bad eating patterns. A lot of things that I did, I stopped doing all of a sudden. I started having intuition. My intuition was leading me. I was literally walking by faith and not by sight.
Right. Right. So do you feel, I do believe that that's what God does, you know?
It's
Um,
true. It does. God, it changed me in ways I
it
can't
does.
even explain. I can't even
It
explain. I'm not
does.
even the same person I used to be.
No,
Nowhere near that
exactly.
person.
Yeah, I remember. So like I can relate, not necessarily in with my eyes,
Right.
but I was at one point, so I was really physically active, like focused like I swam, I did like Bikram yoga, but everything was like more of like the physical, like I had to work out, and it was during a period of time where there was a lot of karmic cycles I had to close out or I had to see, but
Uh,
it was about myself, and it was
cool.
about like I had to please people, in every which
Oh,
way, which was like my ex, so I had to be this way, I
yeah.
had to be that way, and so I was used to always being physical. I was doing everything with the kids. I was doing this. I was running. I mean, I could do everything.
Right.
But it was almost like my speech patterns and the way I thought was it was very different.
Yeah.
I don't drink now. I was drinking at the time,
Yeah.
right?
I
I
know the
was,
story.
yeah, like didn't think about like what I was eating,
Right.
didn't appreciate how physically active I was, what God had given me. I was always talking
Right.
down to myself like I wasn't good
Yeah.
enough. Instead of saying
Yeah.
like I love you, I'm grateful for the way I am, it was like, oh, you're not good enough,
Oh my
oh, I'm
goodness.
not
Oh my
skinny
goodness.
enough, or I'm not this, I'm not good enough.
Oh,
When
yes, yes,
really,
and yes.
yeah, I mean, it was all of these my own negative thought and patterns, and God was like, and then and then sure enough I got rear-ended when I was at a stoplight with my son, and
Yeah.
my from my neck all the way down to where my feet were turning blue. I couldn't feel my
Mm.
feet. I couldn't walk. I could
Oh,
not walk anymore, barely. My SI
oh,
joint, yeah, I had to do radio frequency ablations on those to even like not feel any
oh,
pain because they wanted to fuse my hip. So I went from
wow.
dancing, running, jumping, Bikram yoga, doing everything with the kids, having to be perfect, which I was really
Right.
talking down about myself and not appreciating
Yeah.
anything that God had done for me, and also not
Yeah.
appreciating the vessel that he had given me. And I was so
Right.
busy trying to please everyone else,
Ah,
and then beating myself up, like literally, like
oh my
if
God.
I would have turned myself open, there were so
Yeah.
many scars and wounds that were self-inflicted,
Ah, yes,
right?
yes.
And then within an instant, I didn't even do it. I got
Yeah.
rear-ended and I couldn't walk anymore. Everything was
Oh,
taken
man.
away.
Yes, everything. I know the story. Same here. I
Yeah,
was people pleasing myself. I was a people pleaser.
right. So
Yeah.
it makes you really open up your eyes. And for me personally, I had to go through, like you're talking about death and rebirths, and you're having a lot of them. I feel like I had to go through like many that were so severe for me to open up
Yeah.
my eyes
Oh my goodness.
and make the changes for the better, for
Yeah.
for my soul,
Yeah.
and and
Yeah.
and not just for my soul, but it's like that vibration that we give off, our children,
Yeah.
our friends, our family, or anybody we come in contact with, and more, but
True.
no, I
Very
get
true.
that. And then, yeah, we go through these awakenings, but what I like what you just said, Boris, was you feel like did you say you feel like you're still going through them, or you're going through more?
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
There are multiple. They're still coming and going. I don't feel like the same person I was 2 weeks ago.
Yes. So can you explain to people what you might be experiencing, or what it feels like, or for you personally?
Personally, this is how I see it. This is how I seem to understand it as in coming through me. Because, like I said, when I had to sit at that desk with no vision, I started seeing all of my negative self-talk, as you said, speaking negative to myself, talking down to myself. I was a perfectionist. Nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was never enough. I always wanted more, no matter what I got. I didn't appreciate myself. I didn't appreciate anything. I took everything for granted. And once I started sitting with my eyes closed and my physical eyes closed and my spiritual eyes open, I started seeing all my negative self-talk, all my negative thought patterns, all my negative habits, all the negative people that I was around. Because when I lost my vision, nobody checked on me, nobody came around, and I was constantly helping people, giving people things, taking care of people, and everybody turned their back on me.
Yep, I know that
So I
one.
started, yeah, I started. So basically, the deaths that I'm still experiencing is just that I keep noticing even little tweaks. Like I would, let's say I stop doing certain things. And I think, okay, I'm finished with that because I'm constantly trying to be the best version of myself I can be. I'm constantly tweaking these micro changes, micro tweaks, macro and micro. So I think it's done, and then it'll come back around. As you know, God will press the exact right button when you think it's done. It may seem so simple to someone else, like just
Right.
something simple, like you drop a pin, but at the exact right time, a pin can infuriate you. But it's just basically the way I can see it. Well, the easiest way to put it is just I keep tweaking myself. I keep seeing things that I need to work on, and the things that I keep working on and I keep pushing through. And
Right.
as
Yeah.
I was told in by angel, even if it takes one stubborn step at a time, take a step towards being better and try to become the best version of yourself. Let things go, and trust the process. Stop trying to control everything. Surrender. I thought surrender was just giving up, but surrender was like not that, but stop trying to control everything. Control the things you can't control, let go of, and let the things flow. Let it go so it can flow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basic. That's yeah, that's it. Just letting things flow
Yeah.
and trying to see all the synchronicities, and because God talks to me many different modalities. I mean, electronics, environments, people talking. When I walk past a conversation, I'm picking up on these things, seeing these things, and I get warm before things come in. Like when I need to change or something I need to work on. Most of the tests that I understand when I'm having these little uh, I, I, I call them tests, but they're not tests as in human tests or man, a test of man.
Yeah.
When to test to me is something because when you go through a test and God tests you, it's more of a how do I put it? You more of a you see well how far you've come, and then you see also what else you need to work on. So you never fail. You just the things are revealed to you and reflected to you and realized to you. Realize my favorite word is realize because
Mm-hmm.
you see it with real eyes.
Yeah.
But it just reflects back what you need to work on, how far you have came from where you were to where you are, and what how far much more you have to go. So this is how I see my testing trials and tribulations, as they call them. But for a long answer for a short question, yes, yeah, basically just continuously tweaking myself, working on things,
Right.
becoming the best version of me I can be. As I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's basically it. Just constantly monitoring my habits, my thoughts, my
Yeah.
mannerisms, just how I treat people, how I treat myself, my intentions. And like, why? It's not what you do; is why you're doing it. But what's the reason why you're doing
Yeah.
certain
Why
things?
are
Like,
you doing? Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So
I
just,
love that.
just, just basically just monitoring yourself. The more you monitor yourself, the more you. I spend a lot of time in solitude. Solitude will reveal to you who you are.
I think that's my favorite time is solitude. I'm trying my best to break out of that, but I love it.
Ah, me and you both. Oh my goodness.
It's so I think that it's not lonely at all. It's actually
I,
it's very comforting because that is the time
yeah.
where we are sitting there. I know for me, I'll sit there and I'll start communicating with God,
Oh
you
yes.
know, and I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I don't, because I will, I'll ask. Like last night, I was in bed and I was talking to him, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Like,
Right.
you know what you know what I
I
want.
talk to him the same. I talk to him like a friend. I talk to him the same way.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what I want. And then I'm thinking, well,
Right.
what do I want? And then I'll start talking to him, and then he'll kind of guide me to realign what I'm saying. But it's like, what are you trying to show me? Like,
Right.
why is this here? And I need to understand why. So when you are alone, it really is the time to like communicate and almost like
Yes.
be still and
Yes.
listen. You know,
This is
it
true.
really is a moment of reflection and going deep within.
It is. It is. One of my favorite statements. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, another one of my favorite statements is the less distractions you have, the faster a student can learn. The more things you have to distract you, the more
Of course.
your attention is on those things and not on yourself.
Right. That's why it's very important to have that balance
Yes.
of
It is.
to, if you're busy, great, but also take that time for yourself because that
Yeah.
spiritual growth and emotional growth is one of
Yes.
our most important missions,
That's true.
yeah, expansion, that healing, that's what we want to do. And then we can help others, in the process. Your eye is going to heal. I think
It is.
God still wants your spiritual eyes to open more.
Yeah, I'm still learning, still growing, still expanding, still evolving, still
Yeah.
ascending.
Yeah, of course. We all are. And I'm not perfect from my accident. He's,
Mm.
he healed me a lot. We worked together
Right.
and but I'm never going to go back to the way I was. I'm just going to be a new
True.
version, I suppose, of
True.
myself, right? Yeah.
True. True.
Yeah. So, but it
Yeah.
teaches you a lot. But I
Yeah.
feel like, Boris, you're right about these cycles. And it's not that I feel like we're still ascending. But then
Yeah.
we'll be reminded, like what you just said, which was really brilliant. And I feel like people needed to hear because a lot of people are like, I thought I closed out that cycle, or I don't want to deal with that again, or this. Sometimes God will bring it back around just to see how you're going to
Well,
react to it because it's our
true.
karma too, and how
Right.
we've grown, and to show ourselves, and maybe to teach that person or other people some new things as well to help them
True.
grow because we're all connected.
We are conscious collective. We are connected.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So what are you doing right now? Like, are you still doing the same thing that you were doing before with work?
No, I'm a totally different person. I was a chef for about 33 years.
Wow.
I started getting tired of the
Mm-hmm.
job. I started getting tired of the work. It was the people, and I would go to work, and I enjoyed cooking. It's almost a meditation for me, just to cook and prep, and for people when people eat my food, it was very enjoyable for me because I'm doing something for them that they enjoy. I'm a peopler. I love taking care of people by nature. That's my natural state. I love people to the point. Well, I'm about to go into a different rant, but now
It's okay.
I
We can do whatever you want. We'll circle back, whatever we need.
well, I was just going to say, I'm so much of a people. Even when I grew up in the toxic environment, my mother was a narcissist. She, hurt people, hurt people. She tried to, and she inflicted her on me. I absorbed most of her programming, her views, and I turned into her to a sense. But I love people so much, and you can probably understand what I'm about to say now, that I would not turn this abuse and this trauma and this programming on to people. I would still be nice to people, but alone, I would attack myself. I would never attack anyone else. I would smile at people, take care of people. I'm kind to people, nice to people, but I was so mean and horrible and
Right.
disrespectful to myself in my own head. No one knew it but me.
And now you've changed that. You've shifted
I
that.
have.
I'm
I feel
glad.
that the trauma, the deprogram, reprogram. I've even, I think I even had PTSD. I think I was diagnosed with
Hmm.
because of the uh, ongoing trauma.
Right.
But healed, not 100%, but very high percentage. So
Yeah.
what I am doing, so I left the chef business and I went into a whole different business. I lost my vision. I lost my vision, and when I started to regain my vision, I wanted to work because I couldn't work. And I was like, I'm not going to I can't cook anymore, which I didn't want to anyway. So I started going to a church by my house. Next door to the church, it was a senior center, senior daycare, actually. I applied over there because I had enough vision. Now I had enough vision I could get around, and not very well, but enough. I applied there, and I ended up getting hired there. So now I've been there going on 2 years now, but I take care of mentally disabled, physically disabled,
Wow.
dementia patients, Alzheimer patients, senior citizens, and just people with any type of physical or mental ailment. I try to give them best, the best life they can have, basically,
I
because some
love
of them
that.
don't. Some of them does not. They do not have a very good quality of life, and I do my best to
Right.
make sure they do. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm in a whole different field.
That's awesome. That's pretty incredible. That takes a lot of um
Emotional
compassion,
strength.
emotional strength,
Yes.
patience. My mom, before
Yes.
she passed, she had dementia,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was it was really hard to see her deteriorate over time.
Uh,
Um,
it hurt. I understand. It hurts me at times to see people when they first come in and they're coherent that they have the condition, and then they start to decline so fast that they forget they don't know they have it, and then they just go through the
they
cycles of
deny
having it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the
And then they want.
denial, the
Yeah.
anger. They lose
It is.
patience. They forget that they've already asked for something and then they get really upset.
Yeah, they
Um,
will ask you multiple times for things. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's very, you have to have a lot of patience. You're
yeah,
working with a lot of patience, I guess you can say.
yeah. That's pretty
So,
amazing. What was
yeah,
the
so,
first word that you said? You said a word and it made complete sense. You put them together. And then
oh, I
patience.
said you
Patience.
have to have a lot of patience when working
Yeah.
with patience.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
earlier you said something. I'm gonna have to, it'll come back through. But
Oh,
no, it's very true because I remember that and I didn't know my mom had dementia.
oh yeah,
This is for
yeah,
like another day, so I don't want to get too much into this. But
yeah.
so I was going through my being broken and burned in the fire to be refined, right? I had to learn
Right,
about me. But she
right.
was going through stuff. And the people that she was around were actually, and I didn't know this because I was so stuck with what I had to deal with, that she
Right.
was being drained of her life force energy
Oh man,
because
I
she
know
was
what that.
very, very healthy. But see,
Right.
what she was missing though, what I feel like was a lot of prayer and cleansing. She had the mindset of the positive thinking. She was big on that. She'd always say, I'm fine, I'm
Yeah.
fine, I'm fine, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm
Right.
healthy, right? All of that. But I
Hmm.
do feel like it's different pieces that all go together underneath the God umbrella. I'm gonna call it the
Right.
God umbrella. Um I don't know why that just came through, but it just did.
Uh,
To say it.
sounds
But
good. Sounds
yeah.
good.
But so her life force energy as she was missing certain pieces, I feel like, but that was a part of her journey. So I didn't
Right.
know. So by the time that I saw it happening, I remember trying to help her. But yeah, it takes a lot of patience.
Sure
Um,
indeed.
Yeah, because that is hard. That is hard.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is really incredible. Really
Thank
incredible.
you.
You're
I
welcome,
appreciate
honey.
it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. How many patients? Is it a big facility that you're working at?
We have the numbers range on a daily basis. It ranges anywhere from 30 to 40.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so we're taking care of about 35, I say 35 to 40 people per day. Just giving them a better quality of life, playing games with them, giving them activities. I hold two exercise classes for them, one in the morning and then an afternoon exercise class.
That's awesome.
Also, feed them lunch, breakfast, and then a snack later in the day. And just give them entertainment during the day and play with them, talk to them. And, like I said, try to give them the best quality of life they can have
That's
until
so
they go
awesome.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's like a daycare. Okay, that's very
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Okay. So, do you feel like your oh, this is a good question. Okay. What triggered your spiritual journey or finding faith? Was it the eyesight or
That's
do you think
exactly.
it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was. I've always been spiritual in some sense most of my life, but I was around a lot of people who never fed that, who never resonated with it, or who was in that same vibe. I was always by myself when I would speak on spiritual things. People would get upset with me. They would get mad at me. I was around a lot of negative people. But about me knowing me, I knew I was always always a spiritual person. But God was trying to tell me things that I wasn't listening. I was drinking. I was doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing. Let's put it that way. And I stopped. I wasn't listening, so God stopped me in my tracks. And but that's what really opened my eyes. Like I said, my spiritual eyes, because my physical eyes I lost. And that began my journey. I started walking literally by faith, not by sight. I couldn't even trust the steps in front of me. I had to trust that God had my back and God was taking care of me. I had depth perception problems. I couldn't see things, and before I lost my vision, everything was twisted. All the lines that I could see that was supposed to be straight, everything was twisted.
Right.
Um, it was very
Literally
interesting,
walking by faith, not by sight. Yeah, literally.
literally. Yeah, I remember looking at people, and I used to call it Picasso vision because their eyes and their nose are in different places where they're supposed to be. Their mouth was in the wrong place, and I was terrified. But so I used to, right, that was right before I lost the vision. But I learned how to walk by faith and not by sight.
Yeah,
Because I didn't believe because of the family I came up in, because of the people I was around. I didn't believe anything. I knew better, but what I didn't, I wasn't practicing what I knew. I was doing what everybody around me was doing because I was people pleasing.
right.
I didn't believe in anything unless I saw it. It had to be in front of me for me to see it.
Wow. You just covered a lot right there that I want to break down. So people pleasing, yeah. So you were following at that time before God kind of like stopped you in your tracks. It was
Yeah.
you were yeah, you were people pleasing. Oh my gosh, this is tangled. Okay. Now the choices that you make is for your own growth, better decisions, which is
Yes.
fantastic. And what I like about what you said too is it's about taking accountability for your choices and
Yes.
actions for the positive progression in your life.
This is true. Yes. Very much so.
So
That
are
was one of
you,
my that,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was going to say that was one of my first steps, taking accountability for my actions and the things that I was saying to myself, the things that I was doing. Again, the programming that I got from my mother, I was blaming everyone for my positions and things that I was going through, things that were happening to me. I would blame it on everybody. And the entire time when I lost my vision, I realized it was me.
Right. And realizing that you needed to love yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
didn't know I hated myself.
right. Do
Very
you
true.
do you ever, this is kind of a silly question, but do you ever, and I think I might have said this on the channel, the other channel, look at yourself and tell you like that you love yourself?
Oh
Because
yeah, look in the mirror. Oh yeah,
yeah. See, that's
yeah,
great because I do too. And that was something
yeah,
that can be very hard for people. I've said that to Ryan. I'm like, my son Ryan, I'm
yeah,
like, do you ever look in the mirror and say, I love you? You know?
yeah.
And he's like, sometimes, mom. He's like, I'll be like, you're awesome. Have a great day. Because he's like 20. I'm like, okay. I'm
Right,
like, well, that's good. I'm like, I want you to start saying that I love you. I love you because God is everywhere. He's within you, but also
true.
it's you. So you're saying I love you to you and God.
Right, right. I'm
So
standing to both. It's
yeah,
psychological programming as well.
yeah. So I said, please start doing that. He said,
Yeah,
okay. So it's really
very
important.
ben-
I'm glad that you do it too.
yeah, it's very beneficial. It is.
It
It
is.
works in more. It works in ways you don't even understand.
Right. Rather than the placing blame or what would
Right.
be the victim mentality. It's more about the self
Yes.
accountability and the self
Yes.
love.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Victim mentality. I know that all too well. All
Yeah.
too well.
So are there still people in your life that were with you before you went through your awakenings? Like,
Oh, no, actually, once I lost my vision, I stopped everything cold turkey. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I stopped talking to people that were no good for me because everything was highlighted to me. I started seeing the negative patterns, that things that I was doing for people that they weren't doing for me, and me doing things to help people, and the people that I helped wouldn't help me. I cut all my friends off. I cut all my family members off because I have a very toxic family. Um, no one in my family even knows where I live now. Because when I lost my vision, I moved in with my mother. I stayed with her for a couple of years, about 3 years, 4 years,
okay.
and she was she. I'm glad that I did. I knew who my mother was because she was a narcissist as a child growing up. I knew who she was. I healed all the things, but when I had to move in with her, I still loved her to the point where I didn't care what she did. But when I moved in with her, a lot of things that she did, I expected, but she kind of went overboard. She got exposed.
Yeah, that's what it
And
is.
I saw her for who she truly was. She cared nothing about what I was going through. I was a burden to her. And
I'm sorry, of course.
it's okay. You can't miss nothing. You can't miss something you never had. I mean, my father, I never knew my father. My father was never around. I learned how I raised the boy to be a man by from intelligence because I would go study all the great men who had accomplished things, great philosophers, great scientists. There's people who changed the planet in more ways than one. I studied them and I took on their attributes and their habits and their thoughts and their statements and they're who raised me because my mother did nothing to help me to raise me.
Right.
I was a boy that raised a man by on his own, no parents. I was basically like an abandoned child. My mother abandoned me. My father abandoned me. And
Now you're
Narcissus'
God's
parent,
child.
I am. And he's always told me, you didn't have physical parents because you were mine. And they will
Exactly.
know you, and they will know one day that you are mine.
Mm-hmm. You are.
Yeah,
That's what I've
very much so.
noticed. Yeah. The ones that
Yeah,
are abandoned, like when I was a child too, I was always playing by myself. My parents were always traveling or very busy. Not saying that they didn't love me, but it was not a very healthy environment that I grew up
right.
in. And
Understood.
they did the best that they could with what they knew and what they were
Yeah,
going through. But
true,
I still
true.
love my parents. And now that they're in the spirit, you know, um, they're in my prayers. I love them. I know they're with me. They're amazing.
Right.
But they went through because my mom's mom, so my grandma on my maternal side was a
Yeah.
narcissist and she was very abusive to my
Ah,
mother. You see how that
yeah,
passes down?
it
So,
does.
but yeah, that's what I've noticed. God goes and he surrounds us, the children or teenagers or adults that are orphaned. He
Yeah,
loves us and not really orphaned, but well, kind of in the physical, abandoned or,
yeah,
you know, so I'm glad that, he's claimed you, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, like you said, narcissism is passed down. My grandfather did it to my mother. My mother tried to do it to me. My grandmother, she always told me all the time that I was so different from the rest of the family. And she always told me, "You're the one I prayed for."
Wow, that's amazing. And you raised yourself to be
I
this
did.
divine masculine.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Are
Very
you,
much so.
so are you married? Do you have children or,
Um,
oh,
I have two kids and two grandkids. I am not married.
oh my gosh, you have two grandkids?
I do.
That's and two sons. That's amazing.
I have a son and a daughter,
Oh, a son and a
and
daughter. Okay.
yes, and my daughter has two boys.
Oh, okay. Okay. What a blessing. Wow.
Yes,
Okay. So they're still in your life, obviously. It's just
yeah,
not okay.
yeah.
That's incredible. Um, are they spiritual in any way as well? Or are they supportive of, obviously they're supportive of your journey, your spiritual.
They are. My son is not very close to me. I think his mother got to him when I was growing up, and that's a whole different story. Let's put it that way. My daughter looks like my twin. She's the female version of me. Even my grandkids look just like me.
Oh, wow.
My daughter's very spiritual. We have the same. It's like she's a carbon copy of me, but in female form. We think alike. We look at each other and laugh because we know what each other is thinking.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, my daughter, she's engaged, about to be married. She has a new family from the new boys, so we don't get to talk as much as we used to, but we still love each other. And when we do talk, we pick up from where we left off at. My son is still he's very religious. He is.
Okay.
Um, he's very religious, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm spiritual. It's a different thing. They're the same thing. One is a stepping stone, and I don't have anything against anybody. There's truth in everything.
There is truth in everything.
Truth
Yeah.
in everything. So, but it's just his habits and his beliefs were molded from his mother. Let's put it that way. And she was not a good friend of mine after we got divorced.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
just put it like that. I got married when I was 22. 22.
I had Ryan when I was 22, my
Oh,
son.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I was getting something along because I know that you said that past people are not in your life, but your
Yeah,
family is still your children and grandchildren, which is a blessing. I think that's great.
yeah,
Um, and I was sensing some religion or spirituality, but I think that's awesome that your daughter and you have that bond.
yeah,
That's fantastic. Um,
yeah.
so can I ask you a question real quick
Yes.
about so you talked about star seeds or being a star
Mm,
seed. Can
yeah.
you give anybody information on that or some knowledge?
So I see. I believe I don't believe I know that I walk in between two worlds. I am in the physical world, and I'm always in the spiritual world as well. My intuition is sharp. I feel the angels. The angels are always around me. I feel the transcendental, the spiritual world is. I've had all types of experiences. Let's put them that way. I feel like the star seed to me is. I don't. I'm here. I'm in this planet, but I'm not of this in this planet. I'm of this world, in this world, but not of this world. I'm on this planet, but not of this planet. I feel like I feel a lot different. I've got that most of my life. I've met people all my entire life, even from a child and to today. People tell me I've never met anyone like you in my entire life, and I seem to be a lot different than what people are used to. So, and I've always felt different. I never felt like I was like anybody on the planet. I always felt different, not in a bad way. Just I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
It would be more of a private conversation.
Okay,
Uh,
that's fair enough.
but I do feel like I'm here to help. I feel like I'm here to assist. I'm here to be of service. I'm
Okay.
here to help Gaia, her people, God, His children. I'm here for change. The more I change myself, the more I see change in my environment, my reality. It's like who we are, star seeds, whatever you call yourself. It's so many names. I'm not going to go into all of them, but we all are on a mission. And one mission to me is the more you change yourself, the more the environment changes. It's like we're creating little pockets of heaven all around the planet that are expanding and evolving and growing, which to me will lead to heaven on earth because we're all doing it. We're placed strategically in different places. Few and far is what we are, but where we are, we hold down our little sector, if you will. The more I change myself, the more I see when I walk in environments, I can see people around me changing. The habits that I change, that I put myself through, and the new things that I change, and I start to see other people picking up on that. I don't know if it's true. Well, I do know what it's true. I don't know more of the conscious collective. The more I put in the conscious collective, it seems like the more people intuitively catch on to it and they start doing the things themselves. But it's all only the people that I'm around in my environment, where I go, where I work, where I shop, where I live. People around me change, and I think that's a good thing. They're changing for the better. The more I change myself for the better,
Yeah,
the more I see people changing for the better as well. Because that's what I am here for. I'm here to. I want people to change for the better. I want the best for people that they can have.
of
I want the
course.
best
Yeah,
experience, the best life.
that's
I want good
awesome.
love for people. I want everything that they can have. I want them to experience life like life was supposed to be experienced, not the life that I went through growing up. I want no one to experience that.
Right. I think that's awesome because you're right, heaven on earth, because we can create either. So when you change your internal and you're going out or you're interacting with whoever you're acting with, that's contagious. Your
It is. Energy
laughter,
is contagious.
love, joy,
Right.
whatever,
Mm.
enthusiasm,
Right. Energy is contagious.
it is. It
Yes.
is.
Yes.
So, yeah, almost like I don't want to say like antivirus or virus, but you can, yeah,
Right.
I know, like you
Yeah, but in
can
a good way, right?
in a good way. It's in the best
Right.
way. And that's why we, yeah,
Like a glitch in the matrix, if you will.
right, right. So and it's just, it's flowing out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
pockets of heaven. Soon it's gonna just be heaven, hopefully, on
Yeah.
earth.
I All right, I call it the popcorn effect. You got a little pop here, a little pop there. You got three pops
That's
over here,
cool.
four pops over there. Then you got 10 over here, 20 over here. And you know, you got a whole bucket of popcorn.
That's right. I've noticed too on my journey where we're going back where
Yeah,
cycles come back around.
yeah.
Um and
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah, I've noticed that where I think possibly people are supposed to be like they've done the work and I'm like, are you supposed to be on my
Right,
timeline? And
right,
then and I'm like so positive, so happy because I'm like on another I'm like here, but like on
right.
the planet, but I'm not really here, you know?
Right, in
I
in your own dimension. Right.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, well, I already see this. I know what's going to happen. This is happening.
Right,
And I'm happy. I'm peaceful. I love these people. I love that, you know, and I'm doing, you know, what God has called me to do. And
right.
then here we'll come back around this cycle and it's like negative, negative, negative. And that's my
Right.
test.
There you
But
go.
it's like, how can we still do that popcorn effect or that ripple effect,
Right.
but still remove ourselves because that is a different timeline. I feel like that's a different timeline. Those, yeah, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, we are multidimensional. I mean, even if we're in fifth dimensional consciousness, the third and fourth dimension still comes around.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a challenge is
It is.
being able to not so much a challenge, but kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of, sort of, kind of.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Being able to function in
Yeah.
the 3D when you um are not really here. You know,
You
everything
have
is,
to you
you
have to
know,
look from a higher point, higher vantage point, I guess you
right,
could say.
right. Yeah. I don't know why this is coming through, but it is, so I'm gonna follow
Yeah.
it. Do you know
Oh,
how to astral project or anything like that? Or can you do it? I have somebody else who can go and astral project and I'm not gonna bring up Starseed too much, but
right.
is that something that you are capable of that you've noticed? Is that one of your gifts?
I can do it, but I can't do it consciously. I knew some friends that could do it consciously. They could meditate and do it. Believe I do it when I sleep or when I meditate sometimes. I do know that I do it because I've experienced things that are unreal.
Okay.
And I've had a lot of unreal experiences, or supernatural, you would say. Uh, so yeah, I have a lot of gifts, and a lot of them I haven't fully tapped into. Some of them are just awakening and starting to sprout, if you will.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah. And I've gotten to the point. Even some of my old gifts. This may sound a little weird, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I'm being led to say it. Some of my gifts are blending and melding with other gifts and creating other gifts. Let's put it that
Yes,
way.
that doesn't sound weird. That sounds
Yeah.
incredible.
Well, I've never spoke this to anyone. This is why it's so weird to me. There's not a lot
Wow.
of people who with my consciousness around me, so I don't usually get to speak most of the things that I'm speaking to you. Usually this is kept within, or I talk to God about it. Or maybe somebody online. But in my environment, in my city, in my workplace, not many people would understand any of this.
They'll wake up.
They will.
People.
This is this is why I'm being positive about it. It's not a bad thing they don't understand because I meet people where they are. If they don't understand it, I won't speak it. I don't look down on people who don't understand it. It's just I understand things. I know things that a lot of people don't know exist. But that could be I'm a special child. I'm God's child, and I believe that. I know that to be true.
Yep.
And the more people awake, I've had friends who understand nothing I said, and then a couple years later, I see them and they start telling me, "How did you know this? How did you know that? I understand this now. I understand this." I haven't seen them in a while, but I did just meet a friend that I knew since I was about 13 years old. We had a couple of conversations, and he understands everything that I used to say back then, and he understands things that I speak now. So people are awakening. It's not like
Exactly.
it's far fetched or it's not like I know more than anything. It's like
No.
spiritually, I'm very mature. Uh, you can't. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
See,
I don't want
sometimes
to. I
I
don't
stick
want to.
my foot in my mouth and I'll just blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
But
I don't want to come across the wrong way. I don't want to offend
no,
anybody. I
you're
don't
not
want.
gonna and you don't
I
have to.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it there for now.
I think it's a beautiful thing though. Um, because it's true though. Everybody will wake up at different times because I think if we
That's
all
true.
woke up at the same time, I don't know what would happen.
Yeah,
But waking up and then being like what you're saying that you do, you've actually planted some really great seeds or spoke things to people. And then when they
yeah,
wake up, so it's like you're leading or you're a leader in that. You're a
yeah,
little bit more advanced. So, and that's really about the journey, the different stages of people waking up. So I think
yeah,
that's pretty incredible.
yeah. It's
Um,
very true.
yeah, that's great.
I've planted seeds in people, they come back when this fruit has bared, and they tell me things and say things to me that they don't even know that it's confirmation for me. It confirms. I was like, wow, that's
That's
beautiful. They
cool.
was like, I understand this now, and I don't do this anymore, and I do this now. I'm taking better care of myself, and I would let this
Yeah.
go. I don't deal with these people anymore. I was like, beautiful. You love yourself now. They say, yeah, I give myself love. Nobody else loves me. I do. I love myself. Self
Yeah.
love is real. I say, yes, self love is a
It
beautiful
sure
thing.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just talked to Angela about this. She's going to be doing one of the podcasts.
Hmm.
And we talked about self-love and how some people think that is a selfish thing. It's not. Self-love is like so important,
Right.
crucial in our life. I always say that we have to love ourselves like our lives depend on it because it
That is true.
does. Because
Right.
no one is going to love us the way that we're going to love ourselves and God is going to love us. That's just what it is.
This is
Um,
true.
yeah. So I think that's great, Boris.
Yeah. Well, self love is a beautiful thing, but as we know, there's two sides to every coin. So some people do self love. It's not what you do; it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Some people do it. Some people do it in a negative way, but other people do it in a very healthy and
Yeah.
positive way, I guess you can say, just to be clear on it. Because there's two ways to do things,
Yeah.
and there's a negative way and a positive way. And as we know, negative self love is very self centered and
Mhm.
not caring about anybody but yourself. Self love is caring about you and the people around you, making yourself better so other people around you, you can be better for the people around you and for the world and so many other different things. You're making yourself better so for others, not making yourself better so you can be better than people.
Right.
That's the negative. That's the negative way to put it. But making yourself better so you can be there for people who need you, be better for people around you, be better for anyone who needs you, be better for yourself.
Well,
Number one,
yeah, that takes
so
work.
it does. It
That
does.
that
It's not an
takes
easy journey.
no, it's not. And sometimes that means that you have to go through those awakenings or that hermit or rejuvenation or
Yeah,
prayer, that
yes.
all of that to because
Affirmations. Yeah,
yeah, because to be better is to sit with yourself, to go inward and do the healing work. It's not,
yeah.
I think that you mentioned that it's not constantly being busy or surrounded by people. It's about actually sitting with yourself, right?
It's
And
true.
um, oh, God just sent me like I got like a alert. I knew that came from God. So let me just process that for a second. Thank you. Um, but it's about sitting with the self and knowing how to not, okay, because there's a difference between
Yeah,
like doing for other people, right? Because we have to
yeah.
pour from the overflow, not the
That's right.
empty.
Right. You
So
can't
it's
pour from an empty glass.
no, and it shouldn't even be from like our glass. It's the overflow
That's the overflow. What you
that
have
we
more than enough
give,
for.
right?
Right.
And being the best versions of yourself so you can love, but also self-love, a huge point of self-love is having healthy boundaries, not
Yes. Yes.
sacrificing, because if something doesn't make you feel good, and like your nervous system, or you don't feel good about it, or you've told somebody or talked to them, and there's that clash, then I feel
Right.
like self-love is like, okay, I love you. Yes, I want to be there for you, but I love me and I respect me. And this is my
Yeah.
boundary. This is my no.
Right.
And if you can't
Right.
do that, then I have to go like this. That is
Uh,
very important because and that's not about being selfish or anything that's, but it's like, and if you respect me, you're going to
right.
respect my boundaries. So
Well,
that's
that's the thing.
also, yeah, that's all a part of self-love, I feel like too.
Yeah.
That for me, I think is one of the main things for me is like setting those healthy, that's my self-love. I'm setting
Yeah.
healthy boundaries today and I'm going to stick with
Yeah.
it.
You stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, right?
Right. Setting those healthy
Yeah.
boundaries. Um,
Well, people who like to use people and take from people or narcissistic behavior, they hate boundaries. They hate boundaries because they can't. That means you won't let them take from you or use you or in any way, type of shape or form because you have boundaries. Don't overstep this line. We're cool, but don't go there. I
it could
mean,
be
that's
even, yeah, it could be even the smallest thing. It'd be like, okay, well,
right.
this is a no today.
Right.
This is what I need. And then if they overstep it several times, then yeah, you're right. Narcissists don't like boundaries because
They don't. That's one thing that's rampant in my family. This is why I had to cut most of my family off. Narcissism is rampant in my family,
really,
but it stopped. But it stopped with me.
I think that so you're breaking that cycle. That's
Boom.
incredible. That's incredible. I love it. Very
Yes,
cool.
yes, and yes, yes, and yes.
So, all right, Boris. So is there anything else you want to share with people? Okay. Here's a good one.
Um, hmm.
How do you want to assist people? Well, you've kind of already talked about this. Um, here we go. How do you incorporate your faith, spirituality, metaphysical life, and passions into your daily life or work?
uh, I live by universal law. I live by
Yeah.
God's rule, and I treat people good. I treat people how they're what they deserve. Let's put it that way. I give people respect. I give people love. I give people compassion. I give people empathy, and this flows over from God. Like I say it all the time. Compassion flows to me from the universe and through me to others. Abundance flows to me through from the universe and to me through others. I mean, I do all these things not just for myself, but I do it for everyone around me because everywhere I go, I exude God's energy, and I want everybody to benefit from that as I do, because I benefit from it. And I want everybody to benefit. I want everybody to overflow. I want everybody to be abundant. I want
Yes.
everybody to be prosperous.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so I do my best to try to make sure that I'll be the best me for them that I can be. Because who knows who I could inspire to be a better person just by seeing how good I am to people and how happy I am. And like you said, energy is contagious. They wonder, why are you so happy all the time? Why do you smile so much? What are you doing to give you this much joy, this much happiness? And I tell them the secret. It's just being my divine self.
Yeah. Energy
So
is contagious. God's
it is.
love is contagious. If
It is.
I love what you said because you want everybody to have that overflow. And I love that it flows over you and out, to others and living in
Yeah.
God's image. And what you just said was very powerful.
Yeah.
His
Thank
image of love,
you.
right? Love,
Yeah.
peace, grace, all of those beautiful images of I feel like of God. Yeah, that he wants.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do
Uh,
with the physicality. It has to do with the love that you're walking in and giving to other people. That's very
mhm.
powerful.
God gave it to me, and I take it and I give it to others.
And that is a blessing.
It
That is
is.
an
It's a blessing.
absolute
It's a
blessing.
blessing. It is a blessing to be a blessing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But the things that I've been through, not just my vision, but I've had physical illnesses, physical ailments, things that I have healed. I used to be the sickest person I knew, and today I stand the healthiest person I know. God has changed me in ways. He's given me a new heart, a new body, a new mind. God has given me things that I didn't know was possible. So I
Can
return the
you
favor.
can you share with anybody the things that he has assisted you with, things that you've gone through and how you've healed from it?
I've had many different things. I've had high blood pressure. I've had diabetes. I've had heart disease. I've had vein damage, capillary damage. I had tendon damage. I had leaky gut. That's when you have holes in your stomach and your intestines, and you eat food and it leaks into your body and gives you full body inflammation. I've had oh my God, I've come so far. Okay, I gotta stop talking about it.
Are you okay?
Um, there was one point in time my mother saw me and she always asked me. I was in my late 20s. She said, "Why do you walk like an old man?" I had joint problems. I had arthritis. I had so many problems. I felt like a old squeaky chair that had loose screws in it. My body was not. It was like my muscles were so weak they couldn't hold my body together. My joints was loose because my muscles couldn't hold me together. I do remember walking like an old man. I used to walk hunched over. I lost a couple of inches. By nature, I'm 6'3". I had got down to about 6 foot, and I started going down into the 5'11". Today I stand about 6'3", and I feel like I'm getting taller.
Wow,
I'm back at 6'3". I had lost almost 4 inches. I don't know where they went or how I lost them, but I gained them back.
that's amazing.
And I stand. I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. But there was a lot of things that I went through. And nature, I used nature to heal me. I changed my eating patterns. Just being positive, holding positive energy in your body, having positive thoughts, speaking positivity, eating healthy foods, being around positive people, praying, affirmations, talking to yourself, giving yourself self love, looking in the mirror, talking to yourself, being kind to yourself, self care, self compassion. Put self in front of anything that you can give people. Put self in front of and give it to yourself first. If you do that, you will thrive emotionally. You will have emotional health. You will have emotional stability. You will have emotional strength. You will have emotional intelligence. I built myself up emotionally. I built myself up psychologically. I built myself up physically, and I built myself up emotionally to the point where I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life. I'm stronger than I am when I was in my 20s, and I'm almost 50. I just turned 49, actually. I just had a birthday. But I
Happy
am stronger
birthday.
than I've, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
again. I am stronger than I've ever been in this life, in this entire life. I'm the strongest I've ever been. And I feel like I'm getting stronger. And it's all thanks to
Amazing.
God.
That's right. Well, can I ask you how um it's coming through? How often you pray, or how often, like when you first started getting how often were you praying that you saw a shift or changes in your journey, what God was doing for you? Because you mentioned prayer, and I am a huge believer in the power of prayer.
Yes.
And God hears our prayers.
Yes.
And he will heal us, because I went through a lot too, just like you're saying.
Yeah.
So how often do you pray now, or how often did you have to start praying, or so it can help maybe guide people, you think?
Right. Um, when I first started, I didn't pray much. I thought about God and really didn't give it any energy. Like, you got us there, God's doing this. And like I said, I took everything for granted. I lost my vision. I talked to God every day. I started praying every day, asking God for things that I wanted back. Like, because when I lost my vision, I lost everything. I lost everything I had was taken away from me. My
Yeah.
job, my home, my car, my money. I had not a dime to my name. Only thing I had on me was the clothes on my back, and I was living what I thought was a very good life because I had everything I wanted, material wise. But spiritually, I was very poor. Psychologically, I was very poor. Emotionally, I was very poor. But material wise, I was doing it. I thought I was the man.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I talk to God every day, throughout the day, every morning.
Yes.
Throughout the morning, I pray. I mean,
Yes.
even I even see myself at time when I'm at work and I'm alone. I walk around in circles and pace and talk to God, tell him, "Thank you for this, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Yes.
this, and I see what you're doing." Because there are times that I go through things and I'm very confused. The human mind tries to figure things out. If you try to conceptualize spiritual things in in your mind, in the human brain, tries to compute or process physical things, it will confuse it. It can't grasp the reality of how something that God will put you through will better you, because you seem to think that you're being punished. You think you're being um, pushed or bullied by God. And God's like, no, I designed you. I know how you're built. I know what to do to get you where you need to be.
Absolutely.
If you need strength, I'm not going to put it in your hand. I'm going to put you through situations that strengthen you. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to see the
Mm-hmm.
opportunities and take the opportunities and run with it and build yourself up.
That's
Talk
what
to
it
yourself.
is.
Work that muscle. Like everything
Oh,
is a
yes, yes.
muscle. The more you work that muscle, the stronger it gets. Just like praying. Praying is a
Yep.
muscle. The more you pray, the stronger your prayer muscle gets.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely
So,
right. You're absolutely right.
but everything you ask for, just be prepared. Just know you asked for it, because it's not going to come in the
I
way you
know. No,
expect it
that's
to.
true.
It's not going to come in the way you. God is not going to put. Here you go. Here's some strength in your hand. You want to be rich? Here it is. Take
No,
right in your hand.
no.
You're going
It's
to be prepared.
it's funny because he is so good. Man, he's
Yes,
good.
yes.
I'll pray or just talk to him like what you do. I'll talk to him all day long, every day in
Yeah.
bed
Throughout the
or
day, yeah. Throughout the
yeah,
day,
I'm
I
in
even
my
tell him jokes.
car. Yeah.
I even take like, God, just how are you today? How are you doing? I mean, you're checking on me all the time. You're
Or
always
as
making sure I'm
if
good. How are you doing?
because I'm
And
in a
people like,
really I'm in a
right,
really
it's like,
relationship
right,
with me and God. And then I have Puppy
exactly.
Moon. I have Puppy Moon in bed with me, and she's used to this, right? So I'm sitting
Right.
there and I'm having a conversation with God. I can only imagine, when all of us get in a relationship and we're sitting there talking. I don't know why this is popping. Do you know what else?
Right. I do. I do. It's
Are you
hilarious.
talking to me? And it's like, no, I'm talking to God. I
That's
know.
right. Like nobody else is here. Like, no, no, someone's here. Uh, just not you. You just because you can't see anyone doesn't mean nothing is here.
I know. That just came through so strong. Because
Yes,
it
yes,
that that it, like that's who we talk to. I'm so used to talking to him all the time. Yeah. Oh
yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
But he
Yes,
is
the
he is
God would say, just because you can't see me, that doesn't mean I'm not here.
oh, he's here.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's here. Big time, big time.
He's always making himself, yeah, he's here. And when I pray to him, I'm like, okay, I'm like, please be gentle on me. I know what I'm asking for, but please be
Right.
gentle. Because I know.
Oh,
Like what you
yes,
said is so it's facts right there. He's not just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna make you a little bit stronger. Here's a little drop of strength. Here's a drop of
right.
patience. Here's a drop of
He's
this. He's like, boom.
boom.
He's like, I know what you're
Seize the
capable of.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Right. The
go
stronger you
grab
are,
it.
the stronger you are, the harder the training.
You can do that.
Right.
I know you can do this. I'll be like, oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Sometimes it's so bad that I even have to go back and reflect and look back and like, okay, God, I didn't handle that well.
He's like, don't worry, I'm gonna give you another opportunity to do it.
Right,
Here it comes
yeah.
back.
It comes back like, oh,
You're like,
you give me time.
yep. Yep. And that's the way everybody should look at it because that's what it is.
It is very much so. I laugh with God all the time. God knows that I love a good joke. I love a good comedy. I love good comedy. So God jokes with me all the
Hmm.
time. God
Hmm.
invented comedy. I mean, who gives a better joke? But
Got a
God
really
is
good
hilarious
skill.
in more ways than one. Yeah. Anything you can think of that you like, it's God.
Oh,
So
always.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The
God is
best
so funny to me.
teacher, best
Yes,
teacher, best.
master teacher.
He's very
Yeah,
funny. He's very
yeah,
loving. very
Yes,
loving, very
yes,
protective, very
yes,
patient.
yes.
Yeah.
He built me that way. I'm a protector myself. He even told me once, "Don't worry, the protector will be protected."
See, that's incredible.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
good. Well, and you do. I mean, if you're giving your energy and you're protecting people, doing what you're supposed to, you have a powerful team that's around you.
this
God
is
is
true.
in your team. Yeah.
This is true. This is true. I walk everywhere I walk. There's a team.
Yeah.
I may
That's
look
right.
alone, but we're never alone just
Oh, you're
because we
not
look
alone.
alone.
Yeah.
No,
Not alone.
not by far. Not by far.
Mm-mm. Many, a beautiful, that is something that is so true. I just gotta say, because
Yeah,
people thought I was alone,
yeah,
and I feel like, I'm very peaceful. That's just my nature. I've always been just very
right.
peaceful. And growing up, I was very quiet and shy. So,
Uh,
um, getting up on YouTube, God's like, because he told me this many, 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 many years ago. It just took me some courage and some
yeah,
growth,
right.
for my own healing journey and more knowledge when I felt that I was ready. And he's like, okay, I'm waiting for you. Um,
Right.
right, it's up to us. He's like, don't make me give you more weight. But I'm very peaceful and I like my quiet and I'm very
Yeah,
sweet. And so I feel like people thought that was like an easy target. But
exactly.
yeah, but it's like the protectors or the sweet, gentle ones, we're not alone. We are
No,
not. We're absolutely
warrior.
protected.
We got warrior angels around you.
Absolutely. Yeah. There, you said it right. Yeah, you said it right. So,
Mm,
but I thought it was very beautiful when you got vulnerable right there. I just want to let you know that where
thank you.
you realized, I'm sure you've realized this many times, but to do this in front of people and with me
Yeah,
today, how far you've come and what God has done for you, because that
I
is
have.
truth. He is capable. The love that he gives, the healing, and what he does for all of us. I think
Yes,
people need to see that and hear that, especially from a protector and a divine masculine.
yes. This is very true. And that I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Anything else you want to share with anybody, Boris?
um, mm, not much. Just well, like we talked about earlier, self-love, always enforce your boundaries. Make sure you always have boundaries in place. Because narcissists hate boundaries. Give yourself love. If you can't find love, give it to yourself.
Right?
If you can't find it anywhere else, give it to yourself first.
Right.
Um, and if you do get in relationships with someone, make sure they reciprocate your love. Because people can say they love you, but don't show it. Talking and doing is two different things. Someone can say all day they love you, but they don't show you they love you. They say what they do, but don't do what they say. Love is an action. It's not a word. So if they keep saying they love you, but don't show you or take care of you or make you feel loved, it's not love. Love is felt, not heard.
Love is felt, not heard. You're right. Everything is energy.
This is true. This is true. A mouth can lie, energy cannot.
Right. Can you're oh, you're saying it and I'm integrating, I'm processing, it's coming down. Um, from a divine masculine's perspective, okay? You
Hmm.
know how there's the divine masculine, divine feminine, the
Yes,
giving and the receiving and the sowing of the seeds. As a
yes.
divine masculine, what do you see yourself um not only giving to your divine feminine when you find her, or how you
Hmm.
guys can and what she could give to you and how you guys would sow? Can you describe that for people of what, as a divine masculine, you've been guided,
Yes.
okay, to see? Do you mind?
No, I don't. I don't at all. I'm a very giving person. And sometimes I have to watch myself because I can overgive. So basically, my divine feminine, I would give her me. I will give 100% of me unless she otherwise shows me not to. But if we're 100% in agreement with each other, I would give 100% of me. I would take care of her. Like I said, love is an action for me. I would show her that I love her. I like to cook. I was a chef for 33 years, so I love cooking. Cooking is one of my favorite things to do. Um, I love spending time. I love cooking. I love doing things. I love going to shows, comedy shows, going out, taking walks in the park. Um, I love to do a lot of things. So she would have to probably be a very active person. Um, like I said, movies, shows, dinner. I celebrate when celebration is in order. I love to do things to celebrate, but I will take care of her in ways that she would notice. She would feel. I wouldn't have to tell her I love her. She would feel it. And when I would say it, she would say, "I know." That's the only thing she would say. And I would expect the same thing for her. The way I show it to her, I would expect reciprocation. Um, like I pour into her glass, I want her to pour back into mine. We're supposed to pour into each other. That's the way that's supposed to go. We're supposed to take care of each other. We're supposed to be honest with each other, be loyal to each other, respect one another, be there for one another. When she needs me, I'm there for her. When I need her, she's there for me. That is a relationship balance, two-way street, the way it's supposed to be, not one person doing everything for the other. Unless time goes on and one person is, they can't make it anymore, or they're sick. When you're sick, of course, I'll be there for you and do everything in my power to make sure you're better. But it shouldn't be if you're healthy and I'm healthy, I'm doing everything and you do nothing. That's not how that's supposed to go. That is a narcissistic relationship.
Right.
Well, but that's how I would see it. That's how I see it now. I didn't see it before. Growing up with a narcissistic parent, I thought love was you love a person and they don't have to love you back. They can say and do whatever they want to you, but you still have to love them. That's what I thought love was, and I attracted those type of people because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And I was attracting abused and traumatized people myself, and
Right.
all we would do is argue and have times. Let's put it. I just call it times.
Okay.
Uh, but but I wouldn't change a thing because I learned a lot from those situations, those scenarios, those people. A lot of them were my teachers.
Yeah,
They taught me a lot. And if I didn't go through the things that I went through, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I like me today.
that's awesome. All right. Thank you. I think that's
Thank
going
you,
to be
Molly.
very, you're welcome. That's be
Thank you,
helpful.
Molly. I appreciate this very much. This was uh, therapeutic for me.
Good.
Therapeutic. Yes, I thank you so much for what you're doing. This is a very beautiful service you are providing.
You're welcome. It was divinely guided.
I
Um,
I can feel it.
hmm Yeah, it's important. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm so glad that you're doing this. Everybody is. So many people have reached out. I'm really grateful for all of you that we can do this as a team. It is important. So thank you.
Beautiful thing. We are creating heaven
Thank
on
you.
earth. You're
Exactly.
welcome, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay strong. Keep doing what you're doing, and I thank you for being yourself. Thank you for being you.
Oh, well, thank you, Boris. You too. And
Yes, you're welcome.
I pray for your healing, that you heal very quickly. I know God's looking over you and he's taking care of you. So I already know
Uh,
that. And I have a feeling he's opening up more of your spiritual gifts, and then boom, that eye is gonna heal.
yes, I believe so. And I
Hmm.
would say ditto for you too, because I pray that you finish your healing journey and learn
Thank
what you
you.
need to learn, see what you need to see, and become who you will become. Because you
Oh,
are
thank you.
growing. You are growing, just as we all are.
Yeah, thank you. That before we go, that is such a beautiful thing you just said. It is the journey.
Yeah.
There's no So that I was talking to someone about this, and I was talking to my son, because there is no end for me. There is no end. It's
No, it's
the
not.
journey. We're expanding. There is no end. It's just we keep
It's not.
going, growing, evolving, learning. So thank you for that, because there is no end goal. It
It's
is
not.
eternal.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Infinite, eternal.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Yes. I love how I throw that out there and then you threw that in there and it all comes back. I love it. Thank you.
Boom, boom, and boom.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
All right, Mom. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us on the Walk with Faith podcast with Boris. Oh, Boris, do you have
Yes.
a contact information that if anybody wants to get in contact with you, they can?
Yes. Email for now. Not many other contacts. My email is SORIB36 at
Awesome.
gmail.com. Of course, .com, you know. Um, I'm going to start a YouTube channel soon, so I'll be
Okay.
back with that. Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, great. And then also, is it okay if I post your email on the pinned comments for
Yes,
your
ma'am.
video? Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Yes, it'll be perfect.
great.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We love you, appreciate
Thank you
love
all.
you, and
Yes,
we
thank
pray
you.
that you are always surrounded by the Most High God's love, protection, and blessings. All right, bye, guys. Thanks, Boris.